This conference will now be recorded.
So if you go to section, in the section rule layout tab, we have different types of layouts, out of which we have worked on dynamic layout and table layout. So dynamic layout is the one which you get by default when you create a section. So previous to Pega 7, Pega 7 means Pega 6.3, 6.2, and before 6.1, before versions of Pega. Before Pega 7, we don't have dynamic layout. So we used to have these layouts, that is fixed layout and free form layout in place of dynamic layout. Fixed layout means when you add a layout, let's say you get 2 columns, that will be 2 columns, you cannot modify it at all. And free form layout means you can add a number of columns, something like that. Okay, so these are being removed from Pega 7 onwards, and it is been given with dynamic layouts. See, dynamic layout by the name. So according to the screen size of the device on which you are accessing it. Suppose if you are accessing on tab, you are accessing on a laptop, you are accessing on phone, the screen size will be different. See, as per the screen size, automatically the application screen size of the device, the application gets adjusted. Suppose if you see here on my laptop now, you have Dev Studio, application, configure, launch web interface. These are the things which we can access. At the bottom you have clipboard, live view, all this, and center panel. So if you are going to minimize this, let me minimize this to phone size. When I minimize this to phone size, still I have access to everything, whatever that I have got in the laptop screen size. But here labels are not available, but still options are accessible. So everything that you have, that you are accessing in laptop, the same here you are accessing from the phone also. None of the user interface portions or parts are being removed. So everything is being accessible. So but this is called dynamic UI. So this is called dynamic UI, and this is called responsiveness. So responsiveness of UI. So responsiveness means the user interface screen gets adjusted according to the screen size. So before versions of Pega, Pega systems was using plain HTML. From Pega 7 onwards, Pega systems is using HTML5, and they have used div tags mainly. So combination of these HTML5, and they have started using div tags for user interface design, and they provided dynamic layouts. So when you go to harness rule, let me go ahead with harness rule. So here you see different formats of layouts. So here the layouts will be like whatever the layouts that you have there. Apart from that, you have a container. It will not be available in the section rules. Okay, and here you go with container. Let me go ahead and get the container. See here, if you add the container here, actually container should be the top one. Okay, this is the container. You will add section inside container. So here you have the format of header, custom header, something like that, and you can go ahead and add section inside a container. So the container what you are getting here. So here You can choose header type as bar or collapsible, something like that. Okay, and here you go ahead with this container is going to be, it is called as a dynamic container. Dynamic container means similar to dynamic layout. Dynamic layout, as dynamic layout provides responsiveness, your dynamic container also provides responsiveness. So let me tell you one feature of dynamic container. See here, what you see, these tabs, these are all harness rules. So when you click on anything, look at here. Suppose if I go ahead and click on another user interface rule or any other rule. So when I click on this, the previous tab is still available and this tab is getting loaded beside that. Okay, this is also part of features of dynamic container. So now this dynamic container, dynamic layout, all these are being introduced from Pega 7 onwards. So these are being developed using HTML5 and div tags. These provides responsiveness to the UI. And also there is another rule called skin rule, which is also plays a key role in this responsiveness of UI. You can watch skin rules video for the same. So now coming back to this layout types which are available in the section rule. So as we have worked on dynamic layout since long back so far, you must know about dynamic layout. When you add dynamic layout, you can just drag and drop the properties here or any sections or any other UI controls or layout inside layout and all you can add. See, at runtime, if you are going to create a user interface by using dynamic container, at runtime, as per the screen size, it gets automatically adjusted as I have told you. And also there is nothing like a fixed number of rows and all. So you can choose here, after you add, you can choose here, just click on this. You can choose here the layout formats. After you have added your number of controls into this, you can choose layout format of inline grid, double, triple, something like that. So apart from dynamic layout, we have also worked on table layout. So table layout is going to take the parameter of page list. So what do you mean by page list? Page list is an embedded property. So where you have multiple pages. So multiple pages will be there in the page list. So for each page, one record gets created here. So this is how a page list we can display like a table format by using table layout. Table format means you will be having columns and rows. Not only page list property, for this layout, you can use different sources like data page of structure list, and also you can use sources like what is the other one, report definition. So either of these you can go ahead and use as per your business requirement. Just give me a minute. Okay. So next here you go with. So the next type of layout, let me remove this. So the next layout, you have hierarchical table. So hierarchical table means table inside table. Suppose you are displaying the list of countries as a table format, you will be using table layout. When you go to hierarchical table, here you can see a folder icon. Hierarchical table will be something like this. On click of the folder icon, it will get expanded. Inside that, there will be another page list. So page list inside page list means list of countries. You have inside list of countries. For each country, for each country page, you will have a page list called states. Again, for each state's page list, inside each state's page, you will be having now cities page list. So like this, if you wanted to have hierarchical display of table structure, then you can go ahead and choose this uh, hierarchical table layout. Just give me 1 minute. Hierarchical table. Okay, so now look at here. So this is hierarchical table where you have employee name, role, employee type, and gender. See, if you click on employee name here, so inside employee name, you have three names like similar names. Okay, it starts with J, it seems. So what is this? J technical. Okay, different roles it seems. I'm not very much sure about the data, but still. See, the top level what you see is a table. So each row here is a page in the table. And expand this, again it has another table of three records. Expand this, again it has another table. So like this is called hierarchical table structure. So like this, you can just go ahead and display the data in hierarchical table format. Here this arrow mark can be arrow mark, it can be like a folder with plus icon, it can be anything, depends on how you want it to display. You can display this one. And here you go with the design. So when you go with the design, so this is the design. So hierarchical table is going to have a page list, but this page list inside is going to have multiple different page lists being available. A simple example for your better understanding could be you are going to have countries, inside countries, states, inside states you will be having cities like that. And further you go to, let's go back to table layout and just let me show you, as you already know, but still if I click on table here, it is very slow. So this is table format. You will not have any expand icon before each record. Okay. And here you go with hierarchical list. You remember we have worked on value list property. So value list property. So here you go with hierarchical list means it is going to display employee name. These are the employee names. So where in the employee names, you can have again one more value list, something like that. So it will be going to have multiple values. Remember, okay, let me go ahead with, let me check once. Why it is not opening the section? This is the page context. Okay, if it doesn't open, no worries. Leave it. I can open. Okay, leave it. So here you go with hierarchical layout. It is going to get displayed like this, where you wanted to display value list. Mostly you will not use this generally. Okay, let me go back to this one. Give me 1 minute. So other than that, what we have? Hierarchical table, hierarchical list. Okay, let me go back to section and see there. Layout. See here, you have a layout group. Yes, please. I want to go to section. I'm sorry. Yes. So you have layout group. See here you go with different layouts. You can just go ahead and I will go ahead with accordion so that you can better understand. You know about accordion, right? Accordion means, okay, display will be like, okay, let me check in the UI gallery. Give me 1 minute. So the display, if you're not able to imagine, so this is how accordion gets displayed. You have a top bar, so where you have something called general. So beside this, you can also add an arrow mark. Arrow mark means if you click on arrow mark, it is going to get minimized. If you click on arrow mark again, it is going to get maximized. This portion of area I'm talking about. So this portion of area, what you see here is called section. So now you click on this. I think without arrow, they are directly using the name of the accordion. So when I click on this, it is being expanded, right? Instead of this, you can put an arrow mark also beside. There is such display also available. When you click on this, it will be displayed. So total, how many layouts are there? This is a combination of multiple layouts which you have added inside this. Each layout again can have different sections. That is okay. So layout group is going to have multiple different layouts grouped together, where you can have the display like accordion structure, or you can have different structures. Let me show you. Here in the UI gallery itself, you can see that I don't know how to open it in a new tab. I want it in a new tab, but I'm not getting. How would I go back here? If I close, everything is being closed. Here you go with again. So accordion tab would repeat. So you know about tab, right? Normally one tab. Tab would repeat means you have multiple different tabs. Like a tabbed screen flow we have worked on, right? Like this, n number of tabs you can go ahead and have when you are using layout. Repeating layout repeating or something. Layout grid when you are using layout grid. So let me go ahead with other one. So dynamic layout group. So dynamic layout group means so here you are going to use dynamic layout group where you are going to use one page list. So for table layout you are going to use a page list, right? Similarly, here also you will be using a list or a group properties also. Okay. Suppose you have added some page list. So in the page list you will have n number of pages. So generally, so here let me tell you how I can tell you. Okay. Table layout, I will tell you. Table layout, how it will be displayed? Name, okay, like ID, name, what else? Let's say gender, age. Like this, you will display the values below. For this, table layout will take page, where each record is equal to page. See, my display, I want it to be like this. I want it to be like name, gender, age, ID. Okay, ID can be first. Okay. So like a repeating, I mean say like inline grid double is there, right? ID value will be displayed, and beside that name value will be displayed. And what else? Gender value will get displayed, and let's say age value will get displayed. So I want to display like this. Suppose I have 10 customers, first customer data, and below this I want one more customer information. Similarly, so now you create a layout like this. So you add the properties of page list like this. So for that, you need to drag a layout or a section. So if you add a section and you call a page list, so then the section will get repeated multiple times like a blocks. A number of different blocks it is going to create. Let me try to get from here. What is the dynamic layout group, right? Not this. It is simple type of table, but not this actually. I think they have given something wrong. Just hang on. This is normal table layout. It's not like this. If you go ahead here, dynamic layout group, drag a single section or any number of static blocks. When you drag it, it will be repeated. It's like a page format. What you see here, first name, last name, this will get repeated as far as I know, but I don't know why they have given something like this. It is like a table format normally, name, contact number, date of birth. I don't think so, this one. Just let me go back. I don't know how to go back. That is another thing. Okay, so let me go ahead and proceed forward here. So similarly, here you have leave about embedded section, repeating dynamic layout. So here, as the layout format says, you can see the icon. So when you drag and drop a section, so here also you will be specifying a page list property. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is something what I have told. So this dynamic layout group is something where you specify page list, and repeating dynamic layout also you specify page list. So here repeating dynamic layout accepts only one single section. But so here this dynamic layout group is going to accept n number of blocks. That means you can add n number of layouts inside that. Each layout you can have n number of sections, those gets repeated, but generally you don't use this much, but this will be used sometimes, dynamic repeating layout. So where you have one section that gets repeated n number of times, where n is equal to number of pages that are available in the page list. And you come across with column layout. So many times in your application development, you might be using column layout. See, by default, when you add a column layout, it is going to give you two columns which you can change, I believe. So two columns, cider and menu. So one cider and one menu. And this is menu and cider. Again, you can have middle area, cider, left cider, right cider, and main area. See, the column layout, if you wanted to display, let me show you from the UI gallery. I mean to say table layout, just you reverse it. How you reverse the table layout? Let me show you. Where is it? Column layout. Anyway, you see here. Modal dialog, you can leave it. Do you have anyone see here column layout? Table hierarchical tab would repeat, you can leave. I don't think so. It is given here, right? Okay, but still, let me tell you. So here you go. So when you look at the layout, drag any number of properties. You drag and drop a number of properties. Again, here also you can add a number of properties and sections. And here, so this column layout is going to display something on left side and the something else on the right side. That means if you want to display, like here you see this one is left side and this is right side. So where you are going to display the left side one section, which is going to, suppose if you click on this, you wanted to display right side section, then you will go for this type of layout called column layout. There should be another layout. I think it has been deprecated. Let me check once. It's not layout group. Reverse of table layout should be there. Okay. So what do we call repeating layout? Column repeating layout. Okay. So these are the layouts that are available so far. The column layout you can display like left side section, right side section, or right side one big section work area type, and left side small menu type, or left to right menu types, and in between you can have the middle area. So we used to have one more layout that is called column repeating layout. So column repeating layout means generally you will display table format. Table top row will have headers and below you have values. Instead of that, if you have to display columns on right side, and so I mean to say like columns as rows, data is columns as rows. Sorry, rows as header. So if you want to display rows as header and columns as values, then you will go for column repeating layout. I'm not very much sure about the option now, which is available. If you can imagine a table layout, just left side, if you change it to 45 degrees, if you turn that left to 45 degrees, then you will get column repeating layout. So table will have top headers, column repeating will have rows as headers, columns as values. Okay, if you want such display, you should be using that. If you reverse the table layout 45 degrees, then you should be getting it. So these are different types of layouts available in Pega. So mostly you will be using table layout, maybe hierarchical table layout, dynamic layout. That's it, mostly. Or maybe layout group also you can use. It depends on your business requirement. But as you work on table layout and dynamic layout, everything else is just a replication of the same, most of the things, with a different structure. Anyone has any questions further?
Harsha, can you send differences between Pega 7 and 8?
Yes, yes. Pega 7, 8 I don't have. I have to prepare. Pega 6, 7 I have. But 7, 8, okay, there are few differences. I will draft it. Any other questions? And I will share you one more document today. Did I share you all the documents? I mean, like all theory documents? Am I audible? Did I share you all the theory documents or not?
No.
I think application architecture wasn't shared.
Okay. So here you go now. Give me 1 minute, please. Not application architecture. I'm asking about all the documents. Okay. So here you go now. See here, there is one of the document called Excel. This one. See, you go through this document, practical, everything is there in detail. So maybe whenever you get some time, it is not mandatory. It may be asked in interviews sometimes. How do you work on this Excel thing and all? Let me close this electricity bills. Okay. See, when you work on this Excel requirement, that means you are going to add an upload control. Click on the button, you upload an Excel, and the data which you have uploaded, you will display same in the UI, like table format. So when you work on this requirement, you will be learning about binary file rules, and you will be learning about an OOTP activity, MSO parse Excel, and you will be learning about page rich property anyway that you are aware of. So all this you are going to learn when you work on this business requirement. So how to create a binary file rule and Excel template, how to design. As it is what is given here in the screenshots, just go through it once or twice. So when you go through it, you will be able to understand with the knowledge what you have. When you upload an Excel, so you are also going to learn about upload control. This is an upload control. So you are also going to learn about this upload control and displaying the Excel data in UI. So if you have any such business requirements in your application, you should be able to work on that. So you practically implement this. I'll be sharing you this document today, but it is not mandatory. And other things, other than this Excel upload, attachments. So working with attachments, there is a video available. So there is a clear-cut video available. You can go through that. Attachments, clearly it was told in the video how to work with attachments. So you go through that video. That is not optional. That you have to do in the weekend. Remember the concepts, OOTP activities related to attachments, and the table names related to attachments, and the class names related to attachments. Everything one should know before you attend the interview. That you complete on this Saturday. And this Excel document upload and all, it's up to you and depends on your interest. If you're interested to go ahead, you can just go ahead with that. Okay. So do you have any questions? So we can stop our technical here. I just wanted to tell you, see the knowledge what you have gained during this 3.5 months training nearly, 3 months training nearly. If you have clear idea about whatever that we have discussed and you have knowledge about the subject, Further, anything you wanted to learn in Pega, you need not to look for any trainer. With the knowledge what you have gained, you should be able to self-learn. So you can enhance your skill by yourself working on any other things in Pega. So when you have all the concepts what we have told you, so about knowledge about the tables and OOTB and different concepts that we have discussed about OOTB of Pega. So when you have clear idea and knowledge, practical, theoretical, technical knowledge plus and understanding about the database and everything, then you should be able to work on given any business requirement and any new rules also you should be able to work on. So another point which I want to tell you, when you're attending interview, suppose let's say interview is asking, can you please explain me how to work with Connect MQ? So we did not work on this. So how do you manage to sum up the questions that you never know about? See, message queues, and when you wanted to work with message queues with mainframes or something, you will not generally get the systems available outside for free of cost. It will be not really possible to implement in home versions generally. But in enterprise, again, you have business will have the mainframe systems or any other messaging systems. You should be able to work on it. So, but the point here is, if the interviewer is going to ask you this type of questions, means they might be using this concept in their project. That's why they're asking you. Suppose you don't know about this. Clearly, you in this case, 100% you don't know about this. Then how you can manage this? Simply, you should not say I did not work on it. So the way how you are going to manage is most important. So you have to reply like, so in our project, we do not have Connect MQs. Even though I am interested to learn about it, I did not get chance to do it in my home version because there are no free services available in the market. So, but given a chance, I should be able to work on it because I already have knowledge about Connect Connect REST, which we have implemented in our project. You can ask me any questions related to Connect or Connect REST, which I have worked on, I should be able to answer. So, but Connect MQ, at the earliest I can learn and perform given in the project. So like this, you should be managing or replying to the interviewers. If you're going to reply this convincing way, then that means you have answered Connect MQ question in a clever manner. This is clear, everyone? So this formula is for anything that you have never touched. Do not say the same answer for everything, whatever they ask you. Okay, there are some of the minimum things which everyone should know. For those type of things, you cannot give an answer like, suppose interviewer is going to ask you about, tell me different types of harness. You should not say like this because one should have minimum knowledge about harness. Any other questions? Anyone else has?
Yeah, Harsha, I have a question. In a real world client environment, do they use Postgres as their database, or do they consider using Oracle or
No,
SQL
it can
Server?
be any database. See, mostly you need not to, first thing is you need not to bother about what database they are using. Any database, tables are matter for us in case of PRPC. So Postgres they will not use for sure. They will use DB2, SQL Server, maybe any other vendors. But I don't think so Postgres being used. But remember one thing, you never need to worry about the vendor as provider of the database. That is
Correct.
not a big deal at all. You need to bother only about the tables which are available, like log tables, queue tables, attachment tables, work tables, and few other tables which we had come across while we are working on our development.
Correct. But in an environment, what is the most common database that they
DB2.
choose? They go with DB2. Is that what they choose instead of Postgres?
Most commonly DB2.
Okay.
90%.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, next. Yeah, you prepare your resume and send it to me. I will review every one of you. Download the resumes and just let me repeat once again. You are going to watch project explanation video, sit back, and as per the video, you design any of your project by yourself. That will not take more than 2 to 3 days. I'm not saying you practically design it. On a notebook, you'll note down 1 or 2 projects. You should be able to answer anything that is being asked. But I'm strictly saying you never look for help from anyone to get the project. Suppose after you prepare your resume, you come back to me and ask me, can you please help me and explain the project which I have kept in my resume. And that project, if you're taken from your friends or your brother, someone who is working already on Pega or any other technology, then simply say, ask them to explain. I do not bother about it. You should never depend on anyone for your project. Once you watch that video of project explanation 2 or 3 times, definitely you will be able to mention project by yourself in your resume, and you should be able to say the rules where you have used in your project. So like that, and methodologies, all that is been explained, must have to go through that video. And the other thing is, when you attend interviews, you make sure that you have auto call recorder. Okay, so anytime you get a call, it will be automatically recorded. So you record the calls of your interviews that you attend. Generally, this is for fake interviews. And after your interview is completed, go through this recorded audio and try to find out what questions you did not answer. So where you are feeling nervous, and what are the what are gaps that you have. It can be technically, it can be managerial, it can be something like you are showing some nervousness, or maybe you know the questions answers but you are not able to express it properly. This type of gaps, different, there are many other different, you will be able to identify when you listen back to that audio, and now you correct yourself going through all of that. If it is technical knowledge, you can get it from me or from somewhere. Other things about your behavior and how you express, how you manage, all that you have to correct yourself. And before you attend second interview, you have to fulfill all the gaps that you have identified during the first interview. And at the second interview, again, you will make few mistakes. Compared to first interview, you will little better perform in the second interview. After second interview also, you repeat the same self-analysis. And once you are done with second interview, third interview also, here and there you may repeat one or you may make 1 or 2 mistakes. And by the time you attend fourth interview, you will never make any mistakes, and also you will gain a good confidence that you will be able to crack interview for sure. That's how your confidence level gets built up from interview to interview, when you are going to do self-analysis by listening the audio back when you are attending. Now most of the interviews, all of the interviews are only telephonic mode because of virus issues and all. So you can utilize this opportunity. Make sure you have auto call recorder. So if you're using iPhone, I don't think so you will be having call recorder, but make sure somehow you record it. I don't know how you are going to record it, but still you must have to go ahead and record the call. When you come back to me and asking me something that these are the questions that they have asked me in interviews, I will ask you your call recording. When you share me your call recording, I'll listen to that and I'll be able to tell you not only answers and other mistakes what you are doing. So direct question, if you come back and ask me, I will not answer that. Remember, I will ask you to watch my YouTube channel video. Any other general queries that you have? So mostly we can wind up by today. American Express also uses Oracle. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Oracle also can be used. Any database.
Do we use PAL performance analyzer?
Created?
PAL.
Yeah, there is a video available. You watch PAL, and there's something called logs also available. Logs anyway, exception handling I have told you. If you watch exception handling, you get logs. There is a video available in my YouTube channel. Again, you go to the same video. It will be like 10 minutes work. So performance analysis that you are going to do for each and every action that you take. This will be used in some of the projects, but this will not be used in all projects. But one must know about PAL. You go to where I have. So performance analyzer PAL 8.1 or any version will be same. So it is 14 minutes video. You can watch this. You have complete details here. So remember one thing. So what is there in your hand, try to utilize that. Okay, keeping it in your pocket, you do not look outside or somewhere else. Meaning to say that most of the queries that you are getting, most of the concepts that you are being asked, all the videos like this PAL or something, it will be available in my YouTube channel. You go through that first, search there in the channel, definitely you should be getting it. Okay, after that you are going to look for help outside. Remember that. Next, interview questions. Did I share everyone? Interview questions document. Okay, first let me go ahead and I shared it, right? 574. What are the documents I have to check? Excel document. What else?
Attachment.
Attachments you go through video, that is fair enough. There is something called differences you have asked, right? So persist tab shape.
Harsha, do you have any documents on alerts or security concerns? Alerts.
Alerts related to alert codes. For that you can use PRPC help itself. You go to help content. So Pega platform help. You type alerts. You will get that is just you need to know alert codes. Knowing about the alert codes, you cannot do anything, but you will get some idea of where to search for the issue. Okay, mainly in the production support it will be most helpful. Go through Pega help and read each alert code. You need not to remember all those alert codes for interviews. Okay, do not get that strain, but remember Pega 00028 26 28 1. These three, I think this is fair enough related to database.
Okay, okay.
Okay, just
Harsha,
give me
do
one.
we have an aggregate property?
We have worked on page list. All these are aggregate properties, embedded properties. You can say either of these.
Harsh, you were gonna provide some recording of interviews?
That's what I will send it this time. Anywhere you see Pega version difference is something document.
I mean, scroll up, I have seen differences.
Where is it? Oh, performance and security alerts in Pega. Okay, you go through this. I will attach this. Where did you see that? I have to change the name.
In the differences between Pega versions.
Okay. D. Okay. And furthermore, I will share you that recordings of audios. Those are available in a different drive. I remember it is there in a different drive. I will share you after some time. Today after 10 o'clock. Okay. So, but remember, anything you want to learn, you go to YouTube channel or you go to PD and help. You do not go to anyone else. That is not needed. Okay. And moreover, remember one thing. First, you start attending interviews. You do not wait for something or you do not wait for someone's push. Okay. Even though you are fearful, no worries. You give your interviews. So as you go on with interviews and self-analysis on the things, you will be definitely gaining the confidence. After you attend the first interview, definitely you lose your minimum confidence which you have. But it will not happen from the second interview, third interview like that. Okay. So how do you feel about the training program that we had done with? All theory documents, I think I have uploaded. I will send that also, Sharon. I think I remember.
Can you please share the guardrails for and best practices documents?
Guardrails, let me tell you. Best practices. Yeah. Best practices. Let me explain.
And one more thing, mixing rules also, how to modify the mixing rules. And
You go through
application.
skin rules video. If it is not my
I
video,
have
you can
seen
go
that
to it.
video. Yeah, I have seen that video. There is no,
Okay,
nothing
you go through any
more
other channel, no worries. No need to depend on my channel only for that skins. Because I do not want to
Yeah.
take all this stuff. Only one reason. Those are very simple. If you sit by yourself and you work on it, it will not take more than 10 minutes. Mixins are very simple for typography kind of things, where you call the mixing as a reusable portions of the skin into the skin rule. If you sit and work on it by yourself, just by looking at the rule type, you will be able to understand the things. That's why it will not take much time. So no worries. Here you go with guardrails, right? You are asking about.
Yeah.
Okay. This document also I will attach. Give me 1 minute. So let me explain or what. But if you read, you will be able to understand. But let me explain. Pega batch 570. So, see, guardrails means the best practices that are being told by Pega systems. So Pega systems is going to tell you some best practices that you have to follow while you are working on Pega PRPC application development. Can someone tell me? So far we discussed about some of the best practices. Someone tell me what are few of the best practices?
Need to avoid activities.
Try to avoid the activity as much as
Try
can.
to avoid activities. That is wrong. So what activities you have to avoid? You have to be pretty much clear.
Instead of the activities, we need to search for the alternative rules like data
What
transforms
activities? So is this all activities you have to avoid?
No. The activities which we are going to create.
Yes.
First,
Try
use
to avoid
OOTP.
creating your own activities. Writing your own activities you avoid. So what are the alternates now? The first thing is look for an OOTB rule which provides the same. Completed. Next, then try to look for alternate rules. Now, what are different alternate rules for activities? So far, with your knowledge, you tell me what are different alternative rules?
Data transforms or
Data
decision
transforms,
rules.
Report definition.
Declarative rules.
decision rules, declarative rules. What else? Report definition is not an alternate in some cases. Database is not an alternate in some cases. So these are all alternate rules. Report definition, data page, and declarative rules, and decision rules, and data transforms. So why do we need to use data transforms instead of activities sometimes? What is the reason? So first of all, what is the reason to avoid activities in Pega? Why Pega system says that you avoid activities? Why not I create my own activities? Why should I avoid activities? I have asked this question long back and I wanted you to respond. Okay, tomorrow also we'll be joining. That will be the last class. Yeah, because
in activities, always developer uses own logic. It's very difficult for the other people to understand.
no, Pega logic or your logic, they should be able to understand. Maybe it is little difficult. That's not the reason. OOTB activities are there, right? Which we are using. So it's difficult to it is very difficult to understand OOTB activities than user written activities. In fact, then why you should avoid OOTB activities also in that case. OOTB activities will have even Java steps and all, which no one can understand.
I think the steps in the activities are not pre-compiled, wherein data transforms are compiled.
Sorry?
The steps in the activities are not pre-compiled, but in the data transforms, the things are compiled, and then we can use the methods. It's as far as I know, I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm not very much sure about this, but this is not the actual reason. Compilation is not actual reason. You go through it and try to find out an answer, and tomorrow morning we will be discussing. But you should be answering for first 10 minutes tomorrow morning. Okay, next. Someone else was asking something.
Yeah, Harsha, in a report definition, we have like two rules, shortcut rule and the category rules. Can you please explain about it?
Report definition.
I mean, category and shortcut rules are there. While creating the reports, I was seeing the
Category, report categories.
yeah, report category and shortcut rule.
Yes, shortcut you need not to bother about. Report categories. See, whenever you are going ahead with report definitions, how to display your reports. You will not display all reports at one place. See here, when you go through the reports, a category is going to make the combination of reports being available in one section as one portion. See, you have all reports, everything is there. You create a category. Let's say I have these reports. Okay, pending approval category and open assignments category. Open assignment. Okay, pending approval. Auto processing. This is another category. Pending approval category means if you wanted to find out the reports, you directly go to the category. So when you directly, where is this category displayed? I don't know. Now they are not displaying. We can have one drop down here. If you select that categories, whatever that you create, so only that category related reports gets displayed. So where do you choose that option of category? I think you know that. Let me open this. Any report definition. So here you go with. When you go through the report definition rule, report browser tab option. So data access, report viewer tab. So here, when you hit display it in report browser, okay, you display, but where? Analyze performance. You create reports related to performance, you choose this category. Open cases means any of the open assignments which has to be worked on. Open cases means which are not yet been resolved. Okay, and you don't need to bother about all the categories here, but you can create your own categories. Pending approvals, one category, and there can be another type of categories. So pending attachments category. So where you have attachments to be added, you will wait for those attachments to get added. Those assignments you can see, and you can find out to whom it is being assigned and ask them to immediately complete this. So like this, you can have category being used just to organize the reports. In the processing wise, category of report doesn't have any impact in your report reporting requirements or reporting features. It is just to organize the reports under some categories.
And one more
But
thing.
this UI OOTB categories are not displayed, it seems. But generally, you can add a drop down here of choosing the category. Previously, it was there. Next.
One more thing. By using tickets, we are, I mean, skip some steps from one stage to next
Yes.
stage.
Yes.
So like that only in the
One
same
step
stage.
to other step, not stage to stage.
Yeah, other step. Same like if we want to go back from the step 4 to step 2 in the same stage, can we use the tickets or what is the
You can
way
use
to
ticket will work both
backward
forward and backward directions.
Okay.
It will work. You can practically try it. There is a video available for ticket. Maybe sometimes Soumya or someone has asked. Okay, Deepika, someone.
This can be done by only tickets or any other way.
You can use decision also, right? Why you need to only think about tickets? This can be done by ticket. This can be done by decision also.
Okay.
Harsha, can you send exception document, Harsha?
Videos, 3 videos are there. 3 videos you have to watch. 4 videos are there. 3 for connectors, 1 for service. Connector 1, connector, why 3 videos? Maybe I have added little more points. I don't remember exactly what is the difference. Watch 3 connector exception videos and 1 service exception video. I think few of you have already worked and you asked me doubts also in my WhatsApp. Sometime back, you go through it. Next.
Harsha, in other
Do you have any
databases,
other non-technical questions? Yes, please.
Yeah, Harsha, I have a doubt. In other databases like DB2, work object data gets stored in blob format only.
Any database, work object data will store in blob format only.
Okay.
It's not other
Thanks, Harsha.
databases. So here how it is storing in our application, PGSQL.
Okay.
Is it exposed or blob?
It's
Every
blob
database,
only.
Pega means, rule based means everything will be in blob. Exposed will be only OTP columns and all will be exposed. Create date time, state, update date time, create operator. All these are
Yes, Harsha.
okay. So you can ask me any of the non-technical questions related to further steps which you are going to take. So we will be I will be able to answer you tomorrow if you have any such questions. Technical and all.